Hello, this is ashbass. I'm going to demo for you here Seymour Duncan's triple shot switching mounting ring. Now what Seymour Duncan has done is gotten a regular humbucker pickup ring and across its top added 2 micro switches. And depending on the positions that these switches are in, we're going to get 1 of 4 variations on our humbucker tone. And one of the first is the standard humbucker sound. We'll have both coils active, wired together in series. Our traditional humbucker sound. Then we'll be able to get both coils on, wired together in parallel. Our third option is going to be part of splitting the 2 coils. We'll be able to listen to just the front coil. Fourth, we'll split the pickup and have only the rear coil available for us to play through. I'm going to start off here in my home base position. That's with the standard humbucker. And for that I need to have both of the micro switches pulled to the inside, or pointing inward. So here's a regular series wired humbucker. Now let's take a listen to those same coils wired together in parallel. For parallel, I'm going to move each switch so that it's not pointing toward the center, but that it's pointing away from center to the outside. And here's what parallel sounds like. Series. Parallel. Large drop of volume. Still a humbucker, however, and still get a little bit of humbucker tone, maybe without such a hot or heavy output. The next option is our front coil by itself. So I'm going to start off in my home base mode. I've got switches back to center. And now to activate just the front coil, I'm going to slide its micro switch outward or away from center. So I've effectively just turned on the front coil. And here's what it sounds like. We'll compare that to regular humbucker. Front coil. Regular humbucker. Front coil. That's our typically associated standard Stratocaster type single coil sound. Now, kind of interestingly, when you split a bridge humbucker, and this is going to be true for almost all humbuckers, you're only ever going to get the front coil. And that's just the way the pickups are put together. That's just the way guitars are typically wired up when they're using a coil split. Seymour Duncan's triple shot, however, lets us hear the rear coil as well. To make it work, I'll start back at my home base and then move the rear switch to the outside. And here's what we have when we listen to the rear coil. And we'll compare that back with a regular humbucker. Rear coil. Regular humbucker. Rear coil. Now, don't get quite as much of that kind of honky single coil sound that I'm familiar with from a bridge single coil. But what I do get is maybe a little more volume and definitely much clearer, brighter treble. So let's compare the rear coil to the front coil. Let's see what kind of differences we have here. I'm going to start off with the rear coil. Front. Rear. Front. Now we've listened to all 4 possibilities. I'll run through them again for you. We have the standard humbucker, 2 coils wired together in series. Parallel, 2 coils wired together in parallel, still a humbucker. front coil only, and rear coil only. Now what I'll do next is throw another pickup into the mix. See what kind of a difference the triple shot can do for us with tone when we have another pickup. Here I have, this guitar is a single coil humbucker, so I'm going to add my middle single coil to the mix. So now we're playing the middle single coil and my bridge humbucker. The bridge humbucker currently has both switches towards the middle, which means that it's just a standard humbucker. And here's what this sounds like. Let's go to parallel. So I'll move both switches to the outside, and here's parallel. Now let's listen to the coil splits. This is where it gets a little more interesting for us. I'm going to listen to just the front coil of the bridge humbucker and the middle coil, or rather the middle pickup. So essentially I have two single coils here playing together. Now that sounds pretty stratty. Got some nice honk, some nice quack, classic sound that we associate with the middle and bridge pickups when they're single coils. But let's throw in that hidden tone that the triple shot gives us, that rear coil of the humbucker. So now I've turned the rear coil on. I'm going to listen to what that sounds like paired with the middle pickup. Let's compare both. Let's listen to the rear coil and then the front coil. So here I have rear coil, front coil, rear, and front. And those are our choices. That's all we really have with the triple shot. What I'm going to show you next before I go is how this works with a dual humbucker guitar. And I'm back. So this guitar has humbuckers in the bridge position and the neck position. Have no middle pickup at all. I'm not going to really bother going through what each pickup sounds like when you run it through the triple shot choices. What I want to do is show you what both pickups sound like when we run through the triple shot choices. So I'm going to start with my pickup selector switch in the middle. So I have both neck and bridge humbuckers active. Our first little bit is going to be with both humbuckers on with coils wired together in series. Again, just the traditional humbucker sound. Now we'll check out both pickups when they're wired together in parallel. So for each humbucker, the switches move to the outside. Series, parallel. Now the next option we have is splitting. And in our earlier bit of the demo, we split the bridge humbucker. And I think I mentioned back then that when you split a bridge humbucker, it's only going to be the front coil that you'll ever be listening to. The rear coil is just kind of forgotten. Let me show you what happens when you split humbuckers on a dual humbucker guitar. All right, I'm going to show you here what happens to our coils when we split or coil tap a humbucker. The V you're looking at here has both pickups active. The pickup selector switch is in the middle position, so we can hear both the bridge and the neck pickup. Now what I'm going to do is check each of the different coils in each of the humbuckers. So I've got my truss rod wrench, and we'll pop right up here and see if this rear coil is currently on. Yes. Front coil. Again, yes. And then we'll go up here to our neck pickup. Rear coil. On. And front coil. On. Now what let's do is split those humbuckers. My tone knob down here is a push-pull pot. When I pull it, I just split the humbuckers. So now we only have one coil operating from each of these. Again, let's take a look at the bridge. Okay, so the live one is the front coil. The rear coil, not active. Let's go up to the neck. Rear coil sounds good. Front coil is not active. So what we've seen here when we split this particular humbucker, and I did it how you would split any humbucker by using the wire that comes out of the middle and sending it to ground, I have essentially cut off for the neck the front coil, and for the bridge the rear coil. So as far as those two coils being part of our sound, it just doesn't happen. The way humbuckers are put together, the way they're typically installed, when you split them, for the bridge, you only get the front. For the neck, you only get the rear. So what we just saw is that when you have both pickups active and you run a traditional coil tap or a split, you're only going to hear the inside coils. The front coil from the bridge pickup and the rear coil from the neck pickup. So let's go ahead and listen to that choice. This is our traditional, I'll call it inside coils split sound. Now back to regular humbucker. Inside coils. Now let's listen to what the triple shot gives us. The outside coils. So I'll move both of my switches so that the bridge has the rear coil selected and the neck has the front coil selected. And this is what we get tone-wise. Let's compare that to the inside coil. So this is inside. Outside. Inside. And outside. And that's all I have for you. Check out my website, ashbass.com. I have a page there under my guitar section regarding the triple shot. So I hope this was informative for you. Thanks for listening.